like the little friendship with Karina.
Kaya.
Kaya, yeah.
Sauce girl.
Yeah.
Lots of Kaya. They said Kaya a lot in that arc. Usually I'm not good with names, but I remember Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
That was I liked it too, because like that was a moment that didn't, because Kaya's character was really flat in the manga. Like they really didn't do much with her. She was just kind of like sick girl,
average sick girl,
and I was like didn't do anything with it.
That is a very Japanese trope.
Yep.
That doesn't really.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot in the West.
Just don't care so much.
They'll add more layers to it in the West typically, but in the Japanese they'll be like demure and they won't have any personality when they're sick girl.
It's not a character. It's not a personality in the West.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that might be happening to you.
Yeah.
It's kind of a,
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. But
I noticed she had
though.
Blonde hair and black eyebrows. Always noticed that.
That's canon. That's
and she's a One Piece girl, so she looks like most other One Piece girls. She looks. If you squint, you probably think that's Vivi.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about live action, sir. What are you?
You're talking about the live action? Okay.
Yeah.
Sanji also has blonde hair and black eyebrows, but that's okay because his shit's probably probably bleached as fuck. You know, he was out there in that sun for a pretty long time.
Ooh,
anyway, that is funny. He was out there in the sun for 70 days and still didn't get a tan.
Oh.
He is a Frenchman, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was thinking.
He was out there for 70 days, but that kid's pants were so damn blue at the end. I'm like, bro.
I was wondering, like, exposure.
Shit should be brown by now.
I was like, because you were thinking about the blood loss. I was thinking about, you guys don't have blankets or nothing. You guys are done. Like, y'all should have made it that long.
I mean, at the nights, they probably would have.
Yeah, on the sea? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But
canonically, the One Piece planet is warmer. I mean, I don't know. That just
maybe they're just at the equator.
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah. I can't. I'll talk about that later. Because a couple of days ago, you started talking about the One Piece map and the fact that it is the oddities of it, and that really
that's why
blew my mind.
It kind of explains why everything's weird in One Piece. Yeah, but that's like super theory. It's super tinfoil stuff. But it makes sense.
I don't think it's tinfoil.
I don't think it's tinfoil until we get the actual proof. I think it's just the concepts and all the proof is there, just to to Oda connects the dots.
I think it was Matt Evans, right?
Owens.
Matt Owens. I think Mr. Owens and Eiichiro Sensei, Oda Sensei, probably had a kind of a George R. Martin-ish talk, and Matt probably knows a bit more than we do now.
Mm-hmm.
So
probably.
When he had Nami draw up that map and he put north, south, east, west in the fucking corners instead of at the top, I think there was something was said there. Yeah.
Oh, how'd you feel about Kuro? Because I know he historically isn't one of your favorites.
Oh no, I hate Kuro. I think he's one of the dumbest characters.
How you feel about in live action too?
No, like his story is still stupid. Like the story is just dumb. Like you could have just killed this little girl and took her money, but you decided to do it the right way because you want to whatever.
Come on, man. You can't
Still a dumb story, but I think
funny.
He did it really well. I think the character. Only thing I miss Django.
Oh, no, Django.
That's the only thing I miss is
the
Django.
Michael Jackson impersonator
with the hypnotist.
Yeah,
I miss Django.
I forgot about
the only thing
him.
I miss is Django because he's my favorite part of that. I'm hoping they work him in somewhere else because he became a Marine after the arc.
Oh,
and he had his own little cover story where he became like an actual Marine.
He had a lot of cover stories. I remember seeing him in a lot of them.
He his was really long and people didn't know why.
Yeah,
but Oda loves weird ass characters. So.
Michael Jackson with an Egyptian like pharaoh beard thingy. It's weird character. But anyway, Kuro, they turned him into a slasher villain,
which I think worked well.
Yeah,
it worked really well. What I really like too is the fact that like pretty much all of that arc was at night, which I thought was really cool. And like the lockdown of the castle or the mansion, whatever, that was another cool effect. Like it did all the things right to make it. I think this was the best version of Zoro Village to me.
Me too.
Like I would watch this Zoro Village again, the anime. I would never ever watch Zoro Village again animated, and I read it very sparingly.
Yeah, it was a very slow slice of lifey feeling arc.
Slice.
Yeah.
Slice her life.
It was a lot of fun here, like in so many different ways. And I'm a Kuro fanboy, not a fanboy, but I really like Kuro. And just seeing him here, just giving a little bit more gravitas, and the actor playing him was like just.
He was the right amount of sassy too.
Yeah,
right amount of sassy.
He added a lot of theater sass to the character. Yeah.
Which I think Kuro was, because Kuro had all the theatrics, but
he was just playing a little too straight in the kind of like just a generic shonen villain.
Right, and like my favorite part is the
I love
it. When he did that, I was just like, yes, thank you, because that's what I missed. Like, that was my favorite part. My favorite part of Kuro.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't know. In the manga and the anime, did he always use the heel of his hands?
Yes. That's what I was like.
Claws. Tiny little bit of
like
detail. That is so good.
Even when he wasn't wearing the claws, he would do.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I saw him do that. In live action, I saw him do that, and I was like, "Is that because he got the claws?"
So it's jarring in the manga because the first time you see him in the manga, he's doing that way, and it's just like.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It was very jarring in live action too. I like the fact that people who have never seen One Piece will see that and notice it, and they'll go like,
"This is weirdo.
That is weird. Why is he doing that?" And then a couple of minutes later, like,
oh yeah, Leo mean.
How did you feel about the super speed? I thought it was done well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Great reaction, great reveal of superhumanism. I love the slow reveals of superhumanism throughout the show that shows that it's not just the devil fruit users. Normal people are terrifying too.
Like you can train and be on tier with par with them.
Yeah, it was a little wacky because like he was like pretty much using it like I'm here.
Yeah,
but it worked like especially because it paid off later when he actually was a slasher villain. Yeah.
Another small change. Zoro's backstory, like just the placement of it, because you did get Zoro's backstory way back in Shell's Town, but they put it in when he was climbing out of the well. The well thing didn't happen, but I thought it was a cool way that they did it. Like it was another thing that just kind of made it made sense in the
good time.
Yeah,
it made climbing out of a well less of a boring thing. It took two scenes that by themselves may have been boring, and gave each of them gravitas.
Yes, more meaning than it would have had otherwise.
I
actually want to really get your opinion on Zoro in general because he's a smooth ass motherfucker in the live action.
When he ain't crying,
a little bit too smooth, a little bit too smooth. But I really like it. But it's not like angry. Yeah.
No, they don't need that. I like the smooth.
I think it works. I think our version of Samurai works better in live action.
Okay.
Where like because the typical guy, like if we're making a samurai character, he's like cool, silent type that don't really say much, which is what Zoro is.
Yeah.
But it's like you need it. It's hard to banter off that. So usually like his conversations are like, I'm drinking or I'm talking shit to Sanji. So you can't really do much in that. But like they have more things for Zoro to do in this. Yeah. And I think it was a cool way to play it because he still get that like I don't talk. He still doesn't talk much. He's still like very quick with his words, very straight to the point. It's just that he's just a smooth motherfucker.
But yeah, it's a little different. Like this Zoro fucks.
This Zoro's
he's for yucks. He's for yucks for sure.
I think it's good that Zoro is very smooth. Because once Sanji came in, that's when Zoro actually started getting annoyed enough to lose his temper.
Yeah. See, that's when we started getting classic Zoro, when an actual sort of smooth character joins the cast.
That one person who pisses you off enough.
Yeah.
I like that. Sanji is that one person.
I love their dynamic because it's very encapsulating who they really are. Because they just talk shit for no reason. They talk about the dumbest shit.
Yeah, and now that Zoro live action took a little bit more of Sanji's traits, now they're really fighting for like, I want to be the secondary cool character. I want to be the secondary cool character. So now that's really I can't wait for the fandom battles between those two.
We gotta do this fandom all over again.
Oh boy.
Because the manga fans are finally like, the Sanji fans are finally like, they're not giving up, but they've accepted what it is. Because Oda's made it like clear, like Zoro's number 2.
Yeah.
Like, Sanji's a close 3, but he's still 3. His name's Sanji.
I must have missed this. I didn't know there was a question.
Oh yeah.
Like, whoa, there are people actually
Oh, there was a fight in the fan base for so long.
Yeah. Dang. Wow.
It's still a big fight, but realistically, like
it's the worst one. It's worse than any other fandom I've ever seen, because any other fandom just kind of settles into like what it is. Like Dragon Ball fans have accepted. Okay, I was a Tien stan. Now Tien's not the number whatever. Now I was a Piccolo fan. I was a Vegeta fan. We've accepted the hierarchy. But One Piece fans will not.
They still fight it.
Let it go.
Well, because Oda's in multiple interviews, he said he knows about it and he plays into it. So he gives he will give Sanji a feat, then wait and give Zoro a better feat. Then wait and give Sanji a feat. He'll do shit like that.
I always considered like Zoro as the combat specialist, you know. So like I didn't know that there was ever any doubt in it.
That's because he ain't good at nothing else.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He's sword. He's good at sword. He's good at sword and drink.
Sword and drink.
Yeah,
and you know
that's what he maxes stats out of.
Yep. And Sanji's good at stuff that's actually good for like everybody, but also he can kick ass.
Literally.
Without a sword.
Well, because the way they said, it's always a running joke that Luffy and Sanji are better together. Luffy and Zoro are better separate.
I can agree with that.
And that's kind of like how the fan base does it, because they're all, so if you look at the captains, really, it's Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Nami. Like they're pretty much the captains, depending on the situation. So if Luffy isn't there, it's either Zoro or Sanji that takes lead, and if they're on the water, it just defaults to Nami like automatically. But on land, and Zoro and Sanji like take point whenever they need to.
You know, I like that the live action sort of showed that, because the fights that did have Zoro, that Luffy and Zoro, they really didn't work together well.
No, because they're both power. They're meatheads.
They're both rushed down, and there's not enough room there. But when in Serb Village, when they both infiltrated the Kaya house, and they just shared a look and was like, let's split up. And they both just went around to go whoop respective asses. That was like, oh, that's like when Saitama arrives. Except twice.
Yes. Because they're both combat specialists. So yeah, you put them together, and like you said, they're both rushed down. It doesn't work. That's why Luffy and Usopp worked well together. You got the rush down. You got something.
Usopp and anyone. Actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the fights.
The role of support.
I love the fight from the very beginning. Like the fights were like, it was a lot of jump Kaisen. Like they were all, jumping. I think they jumped Morgan, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Morgan got super jump, man. He got jumped by 3 people.
And I like how they tiered Nami up, because like she's always been like kind of a decent fighter, but now she's like a really good fighter.
They put her in there because originally she was supposed to use a giant axe and have a robot arm.
Oh.
Originally, so it's a picture you'll see of Emily Rudd in like some orange and white. A long orange and white sock, like some black booty shorts and a shirt. That was like Nami's original concept art, and like it essentially her concept became Frankie, because she had a giant battle axe, a metal arm, and she was supposed to be full combatant. But then Oda was kind of more or less like, I don't want another girl with a giant axe.
No, I like her being like Gambit. I wish in the manga she actually fought more. I wish she was a little bit better at fighting.
I do too. In the post time skip, she does.
Yeah,
she does. She got a lot more fight. Yeah,
but I just wanted her to be like more Gambit, just straight up, just rip off Gambit. Just look at Gambit, do what he do, port it over.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean now yes, that is what it is. And I think we're definitely gonna have more of that, because they gave her the staff. They started her off with a staff, which is dope, because she didn't have one for a while. So that's already cool. So I'm like, yeah. Even more than Nami ass whooping.
Yeah, I was down with it. It was so good. Like she fought in that first arc, and then she fought again. Well, her arc, she didn't fight much, but that's...
Yeah, because that was her emotional, like, you didn't get done. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about this last little bit.
Ooh.
Episode, like into episode 7, episode 8, Arlong Park. That was, so what I always tell people is like, when you get to, if you like One Piece, get to Barratie. Barratie is where you'll like One Piece, and you'll start to fall in love with it. But Arlong Park is where you're like, if you get to Arlong Park, you won't stop. Because like Arlong Park is like the pinnacle of East Blue. Like it's like, it shows you everything that you'll get out of One Piece, pretty much for this foreseeable future. So how you guys feel about Arlong Park?
Great climax and finale, for sure.
They did a good job of making Arlong just a terrifying beast.
Yes. Watching Arlong felt kind of like watching like an HBO show. Yeah, like an HBO crime show.
He felt like an apex predator.
Yeah.
Like anytime you saw Arlong, he commanded the screen too. He was like, nah, come get these hands.
Yep. He was the Tony Soprano with a One Piece live action so far.
They did two of my favorite scenes right.
Yeah.
Luffy grabbing the sword and breaking it with his hands.
Oh yeah,
love that scene. And then like the final scene where he brings down the entire thing with the Gum Gum X.
Battle axe.
So I've heard people talk about Luffy. We haven't talked a lot about Luffy, but I heard people talk about Luffy, and people really quickly in live action, whereas a lot of people historically who watch the anime haven't understood Luffy as a concept, but people in live action seem to understand him a lot more. Very quickly, people understand that he's kind of a playful idiot, but he's also a threat.
Yeah.
Like, people understand it. It's somehow communicated more clearly in the live action through hearing, like, some other reviews I heard.
I think it's more or less that, like, I think that's Matt Owens doing, like, this showrunner doing. Because, like, I think that was purposefully done because in the manga, the point of it is kind of the fact that, like, he is a threat, but no one still takes him seriously because it's like, you're this rubber idiot. But what I want to reinforce with everyone for Luffy since he has the Gum Gum fruit, his body is always rubber. So his body will naturally fall and stretch itself because he's rubber. Like a rubber band would, like, it doesn't stay taut. Like it goes back to a natural state, but it doesn't go all the way back. So like him holding his arm here and pulling back the punch, he's doing that constantly. Like he's constantly holding his body together. And like, because a lot of people always like, why is Luffy so strong? I'm like, bro, if you had to hold your skin together every day, all day, you would just be fucking strong just by doing that.
And he's trained by Garp.
And he literally wild animals. He fought wild animals.
Yeah.
And people don't understand how hard you can hit when your body is unable to be crushed by that. Like, if you could hit something as hard as you possibly could, knowing that, first off, you can't possibly have your bones crushed by you hitting it. You can't mess your joints up. You can't dislocate anything. You could hit something as hard as something could ever possibly be hit. You could hit harder than Mike Tyson.
Yep. Muscle fibers.
Yeah. And the fact that it reverberates too, so it bounces back and then he can go back again.
Yeah. Yeah. And his characterization too was very, whenever it was, just like, manga Luffy, whenever it was time to fight, he was throwing down. And his demeanor even changed.
Yeah, it's always the thing to say, like, if you see Zoro smiling and Luffy not, that's when you know problems are
Yeah, when Luffy stops smiling, that's actually pretty scary.
Do you like Luffy's menace level? Because I think it's different, right? The manga compared to the live action. Isn't it a different type of menace with Luffy?
Luffy goes through different phases of being a menace.
Yeah.
Like, now he's like an actual fucking menace. Like, people are actually fucking scared of him. But then he's kind of like I would say at the beginning of One Piece, he's kind of like a toddler. Like he is a menace, but you're like, it's only like sometimes. It's not like, he's not like that all the time.
It's only when he get big mad.
Yeah.
And he stops smiling, he starts frowning more.
Right, but part of his arc is learning that, like, you can't, even if you're smiling, you still got to be a menace. Because, like, that was kind of his thing before. Like, he was just smiling. He wasn't, like, exuding being a menace. But now he's, like, doing both.
I think in the live action, they get the smiley menace part.
Yeah.
They get to that part a lot sooner.
Yeah.
They zoom in real close on his face when he's smiling. And you can see, like, part of it. And he's just like...
And Yaki has a really good smirk too. Like he has a better smirk than Luffy's smirk. Like Luffy's smile is better, but Yaki's his smirk is better.
Yeah. It's like a demented. It's demented.
It's like a demented toddler. Yeah. It's perfect for Luffy. It's perfect for Luffy. Luffy's a demented toddler, like when you think about it, because he just goes on temper tantrums.
Yeah. So that was my whole misgiving about Luffy. I thought the character just wouldn't have the range to display like the captain part of Luffy, because he just felt like a over enthusiastic.
You mean in live action or
live action? Live action. Okay. Yep. I didn't think they'd be able to translate captain mode into live action well, but they did it in a unique way that sells it to, I think, the Western audience better.
I think so too, because it gave Captain America, it gave a lot of Captain America from like all the Avengers movies, where like, he's about action, but like he's also like, whatever, like we gotta calm down. And I think it makes him more fun. Like it makes he captured the fun of Luffy very well.
Infectious optimism, man. This dude just like you could take a depressed person in real life, give them all 8 seasons of One Piece, and then that will actually motivate them to like he did his Luffy thing to like real life people, I think. Yeah. Just infectious positivity and reckless Luffy shit. Like
Because the thing is like it's the reckless positivity that goes into whooping ass. Because you're like, man, this motherfucker's an idiot. He's like, he's talking all this crazy shit. And then you see him like actually whoop someone's ass. You're like, all right, you know, maybe.
He says he's gonna do it, and then he does
did
it.
Yeah,
you're just like, okay, I can't follow this man to the end of the world.
Yeah,
I say, they did a really good job of showing range after Zoro fought Mihawk. Because that's when like Luffy's positivity met the real world and real world consequences. And even though Luffy learned something there, he didn't give up his positivity.
And that was perfectly done because it was just that was straight out the manga. Like that whole bit with him and Zoro, so good.
And even Nami, like when Nami told him that like your friend could have died there, why didn't you stop him? And Luffy basically says, if he dies, he dies. I don't want him to, but I can't stop him from pursuing his dream, even if it kills him. And Nami says, I think kind of righteously that that's bullshit. And then Luffy says, even righteously, too, like, that's just the way that men are.
They're both right.
Yeah, they're both right.
Yeah.
They're both right. And like I loved it too because in that moment Luffy did what he needed to do. Like we just stayed by Zoro's side. Like he was like, you're my boy. Like I followed you to what you want to do and you're following me what I want to do. And it's like right now you need me to hear.
So that motherfucker Arlong showed up.
He's like, bro. He's like, man, I need you to get up, my boy. We gotta throw some hands and it ain't enough of us, bro. I need you to get up.
Right. The first Luffy ass whooping.
Yeah,
was the Arlong fight.
Yeah, well, Luffy. I mean, canonically, Luffy gets his ass whooped a lot.
Yeah, that was good. I like when he bloodied Arlong's lip. Yeah, that felt great.
Yeah, it felt like 300 when he threw the spear at Xerxes because Arlong was like, "No one makes me bleed my own blood." or that first time Gaara got hit by Rock Lee and he's just like,
"Oh yeah,
oh no, what is this?"
Reaction face.
You touched me.
Mama's ass.